Hi, it's John here from Speedy Brick, and this is the third interview in my Lego Fan Designer series. And I had a great conversation with Daniel Helms a while back, and last week I had a fantastic conversation with Lennart Hendriksze from SFH Bricks. And following on from that, this interview is going to be done with Lennart Hendriksze, the spelling is slightly different, from 3D Supercar Bricks. Leonard makes some really amazing models, but he is a little bit different from the other two guys in that he's actually developing parts himself. So he's creating 3D printed parts for his models. Not that many parts, but some really critical ones. And also he has molded his own windscreen for some of his models, which is really cool. He sent me the custom parts for this model the other day, and I built this. The rest of the parts are from Bricklink, so I ordered them or I had them in stock already. Awesome model. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about his kind of journey and his special 3D printed components. Looking forward to this. He's got an amazing website with all his designs on it. And not only is he building sort of these sets that you can buy the custom parts for and the designs, but he also custom designs cars to order. So if someone's got this massive collection of supercars and they want to have a Lego scale model of that car, then they commission him to build them. And he's really, really good at it. So I'm looking forward to talking to him about that. So I'll put links in below for his website, his Instagram page, and his Facebook page. Check it out. There's amazing designs in there. I'm sure you'll enjoy looking at those. Obviously, on his website, you can buy his custom kits with his custom parts and his designs. You get your own parts from Lego. Let's be clear about that. But it's really cool to be able to talk to a Lego fan designer and talk about their process and how they got started, what inspires them, all that sort of stuff. So I'm really looking forward to this. So let's welcome Lennart Hendriksze from 3D Supercar Bricks to the interview. Leonard, thanks for joining us. It's cool to have you here.
Anytime.
Firstly, thank you very much for sending me the custom parts for this incredible model. So this is this windscreen, which you're going to talk about later, right? And
Yes.
we've got some custom parts in the back here and this cool little license plate. Like that detail, and under here this custom 3D printed piece here as well. And the rest of this is Lego, so I've either got it for my own collection or I've done a Bricklink order for it. But this is the Koenigsegg 1-1. That's really pretty cool. So perhaps I thought we could just start off with you telling us about yourself. What do you do, and how old are you, and where do you live, and all that sort of stuff?
I'm Leonard, of course. I'm 26 years old, and I live in the Netherlands, Amsterdam, to be precise. I've studied industrial design engineering. That's quite of a mouthful. And now I work as a mechanical design engineer at a company who helps startups in the process of scaling up and doing their first stuff. And I do the CAD engineering, which is computer-aided design. So that's software. We work on Fusion, and I also am able to work on SolidWorks. This is where you kind of make a 2D sketch into a 3D model. This you can use for all types of production, sheet metal, but also 3D printing. This of course comes in very handy.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm really impressed by your designs. The stuff that you have on your website is really amazing. You've developed lots of amazing skills for designing and building cars like this. But how did you get started?
It's always a pretty hard question to answer. How do I get started? Well, it started, I think of as I was a little kid and toying and playing with Legos. I remember my parents saying to me that I was like around 4 years old and I was already zoned in, completely only playing with Lego. I really enjoyed it. And then later on, I kind of also started to develop a love for supercars or hypercars, let's call it that. And then later I got into design school. I don't know. I don't know how to kind of explain. It feels more like I've kind of gradually went this path without any explanation. I just know what I wanted. I immediately knew it. I just went on and I did it. And how I started my business, I think it was 4 years ago in 2020. I started building what's called mocks, maybe people watching this video also remember mock pages. This was very, very big a couple years ago, where people could make photos of their own builds and place it on this website, which was super big. And then unfortunately, this website got taken down. It was kind of around this point where I really started to get into building my own cars. And then later I took it, everything went to Instagram and also other apps like Flickr and Pinterest and YouTube, and everything got kind of spread throughout the whole social platform, right? Yeah, I just put some stuff of mine on Instagram and people told me, wow, the stuff you build is really, really cool, but the photos you make are kind of bad, and this is also bad, and we want instructions. So I was like, all right, I need to maybe improve. So I started improving my photography, which is kind of hard if you are a guy that I just love to build with Lego and I like the cars, and I think I can say I'm good about the designing, but the photography not so much. I'm not so great at doing the photos and all the content stuff. I have a friend who is really great, and he went. We are friends, and he came to the Netherlands and shot some of my photos, and then I put it on Instagram, and it kind of blew up. It was the first time for me posting something, and it got on the For You page for people, and then overnight I had like 1,000 likes, which at that time was huge because I only had maybe a couple hundred followers. And that's kind of how the whole story started. And then throughout the years, I developed my 3D printing skills. I developed my own website. Of course, my car models got kind of better over time, I think. First, I was on Rebrickable, but it didn't really work for me because I, of course, incorporate custom parts into my builds. And that's really my thing, right? And people asked me to do different stuff, but I was like, all right, this is what I'm good at and this is what I like, so I'm just going to do this. And then everyone that also likes that can follow me, and everyone that does not like it can buy from other designers from Bricklink or Rebrickable or wherever.
Yeah, exactly. So you've kind of honed into the thing that you're most passionate about, which is kind of this combination of 3D design and building these amazing cars. Do you have a favorite Lego theme that you work with or that you like? Or
it's kind of weird to say, but I have some models displayed on there, some boxes which I already obviously
see the
bought.
McLaren icons there?
Yeah, I got the McLaren. Yeah, my girlfriend got that for me, so I still have to build it.
Yeah.
I think that's for now is my favorite kind of Lego subject. However, I am so entangled in building my own stuff, and I have a lot of customers and a lot of commissions that I do not have any time to build the Lego sets. Therefore, I also don't spend a lot of time into deciding which I of course like most. But I'd say the icons and also the speed champions. I have one here. I like it to compare it because some people come on my page and they don't know what the size of the cars are. So I bought some speed champions and built them up. So to make a size comparison, I think it's really nice to have that.
Yeah, you got to give people sort of a visualization of what they're getting themselves in for when they build one of your amazing models. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot to have something at the first time, because it's not, the speed champions models are pretty small. I'd say. I think it's 200-300 pieces and you're done.
Yep.
I have one right here. Of course, it's doable price wise, and my cars are obviously more expensive because they have some of them have over 1,000 pieces. This, for example, this has I think it's 1,170 parts. This is my Jesco in comparison to the Speed Champions one, and as you can see, there is a pretty big size difference, and also my course has more features. So the back can open and the doors can open and the front can open.
In this Koenigsegg that I built of yours, there's quite a lot of Technic in there to get it, the structure sound. What's your feelings between Technic and system designs and parts?
Well, if you look to if I make a comparison to the Lego Technic, I think there's a lot of panel gaps and also, a lot of see-through parts, which I don't really like.
Not me either.
However, the Technic features are way stronger. So the connection in the Technic is so good. So system bricks are my go-to to build. However, I do incorporate some Technic pieces in order to ensure some structure. I don't know how to show, but I basically have some structural design principles I use for every car. I don't didn't have that at first. I always try to make them like super detailed, but then they're too delicate and they would fall apart. And I thought like if I have them falling apart and I exactly know how I design them, other people that build them from instructions will have a even harder time than me. Yeah, therefore you need to have a compromise. And this is also, of course, my job is industrial design and also mechanical design. And this is also a very bespoke topic. Therefore, I kind of incorporate my knowledge I have into the Lego builds to make them as good as possible. But of course, aesthetics for me are most important. And this is where the 3D printing comes into place perfectly, because I always want to have a aesthetically pleasing build.
Yeah.
And I try to figure that out with the system bricks and also Technic pieces themselves. And wherever I cannot fix the structure or make it complete or as a whole, I design a custom piece which then adapts to the whole shape and makes it also strong and also usable. And
I noticed with the Koenigsegg that you didn't add steering. So is that just a choice because of aesthetics, or is it just technically there's not enough space to create a steering in there?
To completely be honest, it's purely an aesthetics choice, because if you, maybe I can show you. I have this Porsche. This is my first commissioned design. As you can see, the wheel well is very close to the wheel itself.
Yeah.
And if you want to make it turn, you need to have a certain piece on the side, because if you use the 1x1 block, the wheel can actually like mechanically not turn.
Yeah.
So therefore, I just made the decision overall to not make the steering into it. However, I do have one car that does have that. I got a commission last year, I think. I finished that. It was a Dodge Ram 1500 Limited, which is a very big American pickup truck. And this was such a big car. It was, I believe, over 1,400 pieces. It was huge. The wheel wells were also pretty big. So I was like, this is the time to incorporate some steering. And I did.
Steering in there.
And it worked really, really well. And I also did some suspension.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So you're collaborating with Forlock Mox for your instructions. Are you collaborating with anybody else, with either on the like a Lego fan designer like yourself, or anybody on the supporting roles?
I collaborate with the people I like. And also that are able to enhance the design overall. I got to meet Ron from Forlock Mox a couple years ago. I believe it was 4 years ago. It was on a Lego convention. Yeah, we talked about the sets, and we talked about one of the designers I used to really look up to, Firas. I don't know if you know him, but he's pretty big in the mock world. And he said that he made his instructions. So we kind of talked about that. And first I did my own instructions, but of course it takes a lot of time. Yeah, I kind of got him on board to help me throughout this process. So most of the process, of course, I already do myself. I do the complete design, I do the custom parts, I do the production of the custom parts, everything I do. I do also make the steps in the studio file, and then I export that studio file to Forlock Mox, and then he makes the instructions, and he just does a fantastic job with these instructions. And after the first time he did this for me, I was like, this is so good. Why would I try and do this myself? It would take so much time to be on this level. Well, I can also have him help me out, and of course I pay him for the instructions. And this way we have in a pretty short time frame we could make designs and also instructions that are pretty clear and also aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, it's cool that he's also working with Daniel, who was the first guy I interviewed.
He's really, really good, and he is also a very nice person. I have a good communication with him, and I can basically ask him whatever. Of course, he has some other designers and some schedules,
but he's quick.
He always performs.
And you mentioned going to a convention or a Lego show. Are you going to be exhibiting anywhere soon?
No. I used to go there. Throughout social media, I got into contact with a lot of people. This was before I got like a very big digital footprint. And I went to these conventions, but I believe the turnaround for this is not so great because most of my customers are outside of the Netherlands, and these conventions are in the Netherlands, and it's like a long drive to be there, set everything up. It takes out your whole weekend.
Yeah, it's a few hour drive away. Yeah.
I went to the Amsterdam Automotor Show last year because it's a car show and it's super cool. And I delivered one of my models to a customer that has the Koenigsegg Jesko. So then it's super cool to go there. For now, have it on pause and maybe later on do it again because it's nice to do.
So Leonard, are you collaborating with anybody else on to create your models? You got these little license plates I saw.
Yes, actually they called brick print, or in Dutch bedruk je blokje, and they do the license plate. I have a ton of them. I don't know if you can see it, but they're amazing. They can do of course my branding, but they can also do for customers. For example, one of my commissions, people want their own license plate. So this is actually the first one. This is a Dutch license plate. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, cool.
But they did that, and it's also on the instructions, so that's super cool. So I got that collaboration, and then
so they're printed instructions.
I do. So this is the printed instructions. I had that done because a lot of people come into my house, of course, and then I showcase them what I do. It's super cool to have this, and one of my first customers actually required one of these printed out instructions. They're pretty expensive to make.
Yeah, I bet.
So it's not recommended because it adds a lot on the price, but it's very cool to have like a booklet. And this is of course a very, very high quality. I have some friends at that print shop that did this for me, so that's great.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's another like kind of in disguise collaboration. And then the last collaboration is the brick sticker shop. I've done a couple more, but the Koenigsegg Tour, which is one of my latest limited editions, offers it's basically the same build as you did with the 1-to-1, except for some features and of course the stickers.
Most of your models don't have stickers on them at all, right?
Correct. I don't really like stickers, and I tried to get into printing on the bricks, so such as this.
Yeah.
But that became a very, very, very complex idea because we had to load in every part into this machine and then make it happen. And there's also certain maximum dimensions of bricks that can be used, and therefore I had to resort to.
But sometimes stickers are ideal, right? Sometimes if it's like a heavily branded racing car or something, stickers are fine, right? They work perfectly.
However, indeed, for some decalled cars and some features, you have to do stickers. And then these guys from Bricks Sticker Shop, they did an amazing job. So I went with them again. On
your website, you've got these quite amazing details on some of the cars that you've developed, with their cool opening doors and boots and bonnets and stuff. So what has inspired all these design? Why did you get into building these details rather than kind of just going for the overall aesthetic?
That's a hard question to answer. It's kind of hard to explain this, but I just know. I start building. I have some pictures, and I have sometimes I have a 3D file on my computer. I have a lot. After behind me, you can see this whole wall. This is packed with all types of bricks, and I just take them out of the wall and start building. And then whatever comes to mind, I build. And then if I don't like it, I change it up. And if I do like it, I keep it. And that's kind of how it goes. There's not really, it's really hard to say because in some ways I am really structurized, but in some I'm not. So some models have very great interior details and some I think have not. So to answer your question, I don't really know what the route is I take. It just comes and I just do it.
So that brings me to thoughts about building in kind of physical bricks and then building in a digital development tool. So what's your process? Do you build physically first and then go to digital, or do you do a combination of the two, or how do you do it?
Good question. I actually have a great answer for this. So here I have these tubs. I don't know if I can show you, but this is one of my latest commissions. I can take it out. I'll take it out of the tub. So first I look up some photos, or sometimes I have a customer that sends me photos of his car. For this bespoke model, I have this is a McLaren Senna. The wheels are not on, but cool. I'm in the middle of designing it. And the customer actually has this car, and he sent me a bunch of photos through Instagram of his car. And from these photos, I just start building. So as I said before, I have this wall behind me. There's loads of bricks, and I just start. I start with the structure, then it depends. Usually it's first it's the front, then it's the back, then it's the doors, and then later on the interior and the engine parts, the details come as last. And then I have this almost finished model. Usually it's completely finished, but now I still had to test some stuff, and I need to have a bricklink order in to make it complete, because as you can see, there's some weird colors in there that need to be swapped out in order to have a cool car. So then when it's almost there, this is now the structure done. It goes into Studio, which is a Bricklink designer tool. It's a digital program for the people that don't know. I break the model completely down into sub-assemblies. So I don't know if I can show you. So this is basically a sub-assembly. This is the door with a 3D printed part. So I take these sub-assemblies out of the complete car, and I put them, because on these sub-assemblies I can see how I built it, because of course it's hard to remember 1,000 parts. So from here I can build them up into the computer, and then once that's done, I can incorporate the 3D printed pieces, which I prototype here at home. Upstairs I have a couple 3D printers which are running the whole day, and I try new stuff until it's perfect. So basically this part is now attached. There's some slight improvements that need to be made, but if it's fairly good, it's done. I have the file, of course, the cut file, which I use to 3D print. I can also use to put into Part Designer, which is a tool from Studio. And from there on, I can export it into Studio. So there I have the complete car. I can get the parts list, and I export the file to Ron, which then makes from the steps I put in, he checks everything, makes the steps, sends me back the instructions to test. And then I build it up with the pieces myself, check everything. And I, of course, have some testers around the world. So I have some people that get a reduced price. There's like an agreement I have with them where they build like 5 to 10 cars a year. And then this way I can give them a severe discount, and they check the check version of the instructions. So they get the first hand of the instructions, and they go over it. But it's of course way harder for them, because there's a lot of mistakes usually in this. Some orientation problems, which I believe you had endured, because
exactly.
there was still one mistake not taken out, or a couple. This of course sometimes happens. This is just a human error. And then after it's tested and I have the parts done, this one will then get built up, make nice pictures, put them in the instructions, ship to the customer. And then later on, this product will be available on my website, and people can buy it.
You invested an enormous amount of time in doing this, right? So have you ever worked out how much time it costs you to develop a new car? I mean, like the Koenigsegg that I built?
It's hard to say. It's roughly between 40 to 100 hours per car.
Wow.
I think the design of a car could be fast. So one of my models that's actually super detailed, but I finished that really, really quickly. I can show you on the screen. This is the Aston Martin Valkyrie I made on commission that's now on its way to Saudi Arabia.
That's so cool.
And this one I got done fairly quickly, so that was only like 3 days of designing, which adds up to about 24, 30 hours. And then of course cut design that needs to be done. But when you're building and when you do this for a long time, I've been doing this for over 4 years right now. And of course the Lego design itself I've been doing from when I was a kid.
20 years of experience.
I would say I spent almost 30 hours a week on this, on my business and on designing and on doing everything. And next to a full-time job as a mechanical engineer, this is sometimes hard, but I consistently put in the hours, and this way my speed on developing is very high. If I take vacation, I'm slower after. So yeah, to answer your question, it takes some hours, more than 30. Basically, the full process, I don't know. I maybe have to time it one time to actually see how many hours or minutes go into it.
So when you're selling your designs, you've decided to go create your own website and really market yourself through your website, rather than using something like Rebrickable, which is obviously a pretty standard platform in Lego design world.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to go on that approach? And kind of, is there anything special you want to share about the the instructions or the custom parts that you're selling on your website?
Yeah. So first I was on Brickable for a couple models, but I actually took them down because they didn't really want me to incorporate the custom pieces into it, and that's really my thing.
Yeah.
And then also I wanted to drive all the people that follow my brand and my product to the same place. So I was like, all right, how do I do this? And then I decided to just build my own website. So I built I built the website, and obviously it wasn't great at first. I had to make a lot of adaptations and improvements, but throughout the years the website grew, and now the orders keep coming in, so it's great, and I like it the way it is right now, and I probably won't offer my product on any other website.
So I'll put a link in below to your website where people can check out your designs and of course buy them, which is also
That's
really
perfect, yeah.
good. It's also a good idea. But the other thing I hear in the grapevine is that you're running a competition. So what's that about?
I do. Yeah. So a couple of years ago, a person messaged me on Instagram, and of course, I have a lot of followers, so a lot of people message me and say stuff. And some of these people have great ideas. And one of them was a guy, like he said, you have a big platform, you should run a competition. So other people that don't have the ability to showcase their products can come onto your account, and you can showcase them. And I actually was like, all right, I can do that. And that actually proved to be pretty good for my own social media growth as well, because a lot of my followers could vote in stories, and then you get a lot of engagement. So this was great. And yeah, the first one, I got a lot of great designers on already, and then I did a second one, and that one was also great, and I added some prizes. So basically I have 3 prizes. One of them is you get a custom wheel design for your car that you've designed. So I make the cut design, and I 3D print it, and I ship it to your house for free, which is
yeah, cool. That's really cool.
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
And then one of them is free instructions, and then sometimes something else.
And so you've got a competition going right now, right?
I do. So basically,
can we put the link in below or not?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, I also have a page on my website. Basically, what I did, the Koenigsegg 1.1 you made, I developed this windscreen. This is a windscreen I developed, and of course, this is made with injection molding. And for the people that don't know, this is an injection mold is basically a 2-part body, and then they inject hot plastic into it, and then the mold opens, and then the plastic product comes out. And this way, you don't see any lines. It's super clear and nice. But of course, making this is a lot of money. It's super expensive. It's anywhere between 4,000 and 20,000 euros to make one of these pieces. So basically what Lego does. And I was like, all right, I made this piece. I now incorporate it in a lot of my Koenigsegg designs, but I actually want to see what people come up to. So I decided to drop the price for this, only for this contest. People can go there, buy this for $10, and then with putting in the details and buying this piece, they enter the contest, and they have to show some pictures. And I already have a lot of great designers on board, so I'm really hyped to see what people come up with. So actually Daniel, you spoke to, he's also in. He got the piece, and he said it was really cool. So this is a way, of course, to promote my own part that I've made, but of course also to do something different with like a pressure cooking design idea. So yeah, it's started I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's 7 weeks going now, still 7 weeks to go. Then people have to send me their photos and pictures, and I basically put them in my story, so they get a battle. And then when there's 4 left, I ask some other designers, some big designers, to grade the pictures and the designs, and then we have a winner, and then we divide the prizes.
Cool. So if you want to get involved with this competition, you can buy one of the windscreens from you, and we'll put in the description how you can get involved, how you can buy one of the windscreens, and how you can design your own car with that windscreen. So we'll put that in the link below. So that's really cool, and that's a really good segue to talk about this Koenigsegg 1.1, which I built. Thank you again for sending me these parts. They're just awesome. And that's the windscreen we're talking about, right? So that's really was really cool. I loved building this. There's so many cool little details in it. I brought a whole lot of parts, 3 different orders on Bricklink, and I had a whole lot in my collection, so it was really good. I finally got to use all these curved pieces that I got from a pick a brick wall. So so that's
Cool.
quite cool. There was 1,055 pieces is what I counted in this set, so that was cool. Perhaps you can talk us through the design and why you created it in the first place, and perhaps you can explain a little bit more about this model.
I've created it some time ago, and then first I used a 3D printed like bracket kind of thing, but it was kind of flimsy. And then I made this windscreen for. I thought, well, I have a lot of Koenigsegg designs. I like the brand Koenigsegg really much. It's very detailed. Of course, they're super fast and they're just very cool. I've seen a couple with my own eyes, and one of the most amazing cars on the planet. So basically, I took my designs, which I already had, and developed them and kind of improved them with the use of this windscreen. And I choose the one you have right now to give to you because I only offer the custom parts and not the Lego. And this light bluish gray combination with a little bit of orange and black is pretty cheap. So for the 1,055 pieces, I believe you pay between 70 and 80 bucks for the Lego pieces itself, which is very, very low, because if you make this in a different color, let's say dark blue, it's almost twice the price. And I have a lot of different people on my page and on my Instagram, and of course also a lot of kids, and I understand that not everyone has the deepest pockets. And I do want everyone around the whole world to build my cars, so I gotta offer them something they can build.
And for a model this size, it's not actually that expensive to build. So I spent 68 euros to get all the parts that I needed. So if you compare that to one of the Lego design models, then that's
the icons,
not
for example.
expensive. Yeah, exactly. It's not expensive. For the fans out there, the models are really cool. And the price is not out of this world, right? So you can get something that is unique, differentiated. You've got these cool parts. The windscreen alone is amazing. Just by itself is an incredible thing. So
Spend a lot of time on it.
yeah, I bet. So I think that's probably really good value when you take everything into consideration. Don't compare it to a Speed Champion's price. Compare it to an Icon's price, and then you'll see how much better value this is actually when you do it this way. But that comes back to also one of the biggest challenges that you have. So aside from the windscreen, which was a massive challenge in itself, what other challenges do you have when you're designing something kind of this scale and this level of detail?
Well, it's the changing the colors maybe. So Lego offers their pieces in certain colors, but not every piece has all the colors. So for example, I could almost build all of my cars in white, and light blue is gray and dark blue is gray. But if you change it to, for example, orange or dark blue, there are certain pieces not available. So this is a kind of a design restriction, which you need to take into account. But other than that, it's pretty doable. I could solve all the issues I have with a 3D printed piece if I need that. And of course, my product incorporates it. So I kind of also try to use that. So it's not only for detailed aspects, but also for structural improvements and overall the complete design. Because in the past, I've had some people that tried to copycat me actually, and try to make my builds without them, and they didn't succeed. But of course, if you grow, you get a lot of copycats and people that try to steal your designs. And these custom pieces kind of ensure that people have a hard time to do that.
Yeah, exactly. And so, do you have a favorite technique when you're building these?
Oh, favorite technique. I think my favorite technique is called the snot technique. It's the no studs on top. That's not on top. Sorry.
That's not on top. Yeah.
I think that's a cool technique. Maybe I can show you a picture, but there's basically if you use 2 slopes adjacent to each other and you use a brick, and on the bottom you use a plate and a bracket, you can get a perfect straight line. So I'm always trying to I'm always searching for a straight and kind of clean lines because Lego is very blocky and it's very easy to make it very rough. And if you want a delicate and very clean shape, you need to take into account that you need this overall shape to be good.
Yeah. Perhaps you could explain how somebody can buy one of your models, because that's changed, right? After the HR Trains lawsuit, you're no longer selling Lego parts. You're only selling your own parts and instructions, right?
Yeah, so first I offered 2 different kits, a complete kit with everything in it, and a 3D Supercar Bricks kit, I call it. For now, I only do the second, because about this court order, no one is able to sell Lego and their own pieces into one box. And of course, I want to have a legal business, and I want to keep operating my own business. So I've chosen to take out the full Lego bits and just do my custom parts and the instructions into the sale. So it's kind of hard because people that see my stuff and they want to have an easy path, so they want to click buy and have everything, make me take care of the back end. That can't happen, of course, anymore. So people need to be educated on how to use Bricklink. But once they're kind of in the system of how to use this, it's pretty easy, and it's also cheaper, of course, less time consuming for me.
And the Bricklink ordering system is really easy. All you need to do is you import the parts list to Bricklink, create a wanted list, and Bricklink will do all the magic and find out where the parts are to buy them. For me, it took 3 Bricklink orders, but only had to select it once, and then it created the 3 orders. I had to give it an okay, and then it processed and it was done.
Great system, trying to innovate my website a little bit. So basically you could go to any product I offer and you can click, there's a certain line of text and you can click me, it says. If you click on that, you can download the parts list of each model, so you can check beforehand how much the brick pieces cost for each model. There's also a YouTube video attached. Someone else made a YouTube video which has a very clear statement on how to use Bricklink and how everything works. It's a 3-minute video and the process is super simple. So you basically get my parts and you get your Bricklink order in and you're ready to go.
Well, thank you very much for sharing all your knowledge and your insights, this cool design that I built, and I'm really happy to have as part of my collection. It'll go over there somewhere, or up here, or over there. And I really appreciate the time that you've given us, and it's been nice meeting you over the last little while we talk about this, hearing about your designs. If somebody wants to buy something from you, I'll put the link in the description below, so they'll have the capacity then to buy the custom parts and the instructions, get the parts list, check and see if they've got it in stock already or need to buy something like I did. But it's well worth it, right? So I really hope that the people out there enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more of this sort of content. So until next time, bye. Please click to subscribe for more videos and watch my build and review videos by clicking here. Thank you.